In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on September 10th, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Oregon State versus Fresno State. The Oregon State Beavers head to Bulldog Stadium in Fresno, California, to take on the Fresno State Bulldogs in Week 2 of the 2022 college football season. These 2 schools meet for the first time since 2003, and the Bulldogs have gone 2-1 straight up and against the spread in their previous 3 encounters with the Beavers. The Oregon State Beavers will try to build on their 34-17 win over Boise State in their last game. Chance Nolan has thrown for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions on 60.9% passing, while Jack Coletto has a team-high 44 rushing yards and a touchdown. Damian Martinez also has 40 rushing yards for the Beavers this season, while Luke Musgrave has a team-high 6 grabs for 89 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Good also has 69 receiving yards, and Tyjon Lindsey has 55 receiving yards so far this season. On defense, Cairo Fisher-Morris has a team-high 10 total tackles, while Riley Sharp and Ryan Cooper Jr. each have a sack. The Fresno State Bulldogs will look to add on to their 35-7 win over Cal Poly to start the season on the right foot. Jake Heener has thrown for 377 yards and 2 touchdowns on 85.7% passing, while Jordan Mims and Malik Sherrod have combined for 142 rushing yards, with Mims logging a pair of rushing scores as well. Nico Remigio has a team-high 9 grabs for 100 yards, while Jalen Cropper has 63 receiving yards, and Eric Brooks has 52 receiving yards as well this season. Evan Williams leads Fresno State's defense with 8 total tackles, including 6 solo tackles, while Gabriel Lightfoot has a sack as well this season. Oregon State is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. Fresno State is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. A little West Coast action is in store Saturday night when the Oregon State Beavers and Fresno State Bulldogs duke it out under the lights. Both teams are coming off of solid Week 1 performances, which resulted in a victory for each. On offense, Oregon State was a bit sloppy with the ball as they ended the game with 3 turnovers, and the defense allowed the top runner for Boise State to compile 2 touchdowns and 102 yards on just 11 carries. They also had 10 penalties for 100 yards as a team. For the Bulldogs in Week 1, veteran quarterback Jake Heener was as good as advertised, and the running back duo of Jordan Mims and Malik Sherrod put up a stat line of 23-142-2, equating out to over 6 yards per carry. As good as the offense was for Fresno State last week, the defense was right on par. They gave up just 317 yards of total offense and held their opponent to 4 of 14 on 3rd down. This is really the definition of a pick-em game. As these teams are so evenly matched, it's hard to see either one gaining complete control here. But the fact that this is at Bulldog Stadium is what gives Fresno the edge in this one, as they're 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games when playing there. Making the case even more is just how dreadful the Beavers are on the road, returning victorious in just one of their previous 11 games away from home. As good as Oregon State was on defense, this isn't Boise State on a down year. It's a team of seniors looking for glory and the next step in the history of Fresno State football. Heener is finding his form from last season, and with targets aplenty, Fresno State looks poised for their close-up. Fresno State is also 6-0 against the spread in their previous 6 versus Pac-12 with continued success. Oregon State might be a year away from its breakthrough, but this is Fresno's year. It'll be a good game throughout, but the raucous crowd for the Bulldogs will carry them to victory in this one. So the Fresno State Bulldogs money line is our full game side pick. The turnover chainsaw is one of many stupidly entertaining sideshows in college football. If you stayed up to watch, you saw it after 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles caused by the Oregon State defense. They may not have the same success rate as this MWC school, but they showed something that Oregon State hasn't seen in years. Hope. The total is high, as expected in high-flying West Coast game, but this has the potential of being a 28-25 game with turnovers, defensive play, and tense moments for both schools. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Mississippi State versus Arizona. It's a non-conference matchup between a pair of Power 5 schools on the gridiron in the Valley of the Sun when the Southeastern Conference takes on the Pac-12. The Mississippi State Bulldogs are on the road as they make the trip to face the Arizona Wildcats Saturday night. Mississippi State overcame the weather in Memphis as they rolled to a 49-23 victory last Saturday. Arizona earned an upset win as they knocked off San Diego State 38-20 on the road last Saturday. This marks the first time that the two programs have met on the gridiron as FBS opponents. The Mississippi State Bulldogs have won 3 of their last 4 road games. Will Rogers is completing 77.6% of his passes for 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Rara Thomas and Caleb Ducking have combined for 154 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, while Rufus Harvey has 5 receptions. The Mississippi State Bulldogs' ground game is averaging 97 yards per contest, and Dylan Johnson leads the way with 67 yards on 14 carries. Defensively, Mississippi State is allowing 23 points and 294 yards per game. Jed Johnson leads the Mississippi State Bulldogs with 13 tackles. Nathan Pickering has 1 sack, and Jalen Green has 1 pass deflection. The Arizona Wildcats have lost 5 of their last 6 home games. Jaden DeLora is completing 62.9% of his passes for 299 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jacob Cowing and Dorian Singer have combined for 209 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, while Teteroa McMillan has 3 receptions. The Arizona Wildcats' ground game is averaging 162 yards per contest, and DJ Williams leads the way with 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, Arizona is allowing 20 points and 232 yards per game. Jerry Roberts leads the Arizona Wildcats with 12 tackles. Jalen Harris has 1 sack, and Jackson Turner has 1 interception. The Bulldogs are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Wildcats are 2-5 against the spread versus a team with a winning record and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. The over is 5-2 in Bulldogs' last 7 games overall. The over is 3-0-1 in Wildcats' last 4 games overall. Mike Leach will make his return out west as he leads his Mississippi State Bulldogs into Tucson to face Arizona and head coach Jedd Fisch. Fisch has supplied the Wildcats program with an influx of much-needed talent, but they will have their hands full with a very quality Southeastern Conference opponent. Leach was the head coach of Washington State from 2012 to 2019 and is very familiar with the Arizona program as well as the recruiting circuit in the Pac-12. In fact, new Arizona quarterback Jaden DeLora was recruited to play at Washington State in 2019 by Leach before he left the program. DeLora had a very impressive season last year for the Cougars, leading them to a bowl game and throwing for 23 touchdowns. His new favorite weapon is fellow transfer Jacob Cowing from UTEP. The 511 wideout hauled in 69 passes for 1,354 yards and 7 touchdowns last season for the Miners and picked up right where he left off with 8 catches for 152 yards and 3 scores in Arizona's 38-20 win over San Diego State. Arizona was 6.5 points underdogs on the road for that game, and the new transfers and strong recent recruiting classes clearly paid dividends. Mississippi State also won in Week 1 with a 49-23 revenge win over a Memphis program that dealt the Bulldogs a loss last season in heartbreaking fashion. Quarterback Will Rogers returns to the program after 4,739 yards and 36 touchdowns through the air last season. His 73.9% completion percentage was elite, and he was exceptional in Week 1 with 450 yards and 5 scores on 38 of 49 passing. Mississippi State returns their 2 leading rushers from last season who also combined to catch 148 balls for 924 yards as an extension of the run game. They also have talented playmakers on the outside in Jaden Walley, Austin Williams, as well as emerging playmakers in Rara Thomas, Caleb Ducking, Rufus Harvey, and Lydetrick Griffin, who all contributed at least 60 yards receiving last week. The Bulldogs' defense returns their 2 leading tacklers in Jett Johnson and Nathaniel Watson from a defense that ranked 36th in the nation last season in yards allowed per game. The secondary may take some time to mesh, but bring in 3 key transfers that are all expected to continue seeing playing time. I think Mississippi State is the more well-rounded and talented team and find this spread to still be liked despite moving in favor of the Bulldogs since opening. This is a Southeastern Conference versus Pac-12 matchup, and we've seen over the years the size, physicality, difference between conferences. Heck, in Week 1 alone, the Southeastern Conference beat up on the Pac-12 twice. The conferences are just built different. The Wildcats may have won the opener, but Mississippi State has too many weapons to be held in check. Look for Coach Leach to flash his team's talent and experience as he returns out west. So Mississippi State to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Mississippi State cruised past the total in their season-opening victory. The Rebels combined with Memphis to score 72 points to easily exceed the number of 58.5 points in that contest. Mississippi State has gone over the total in 5 of their last 7 games entering this one. Arizona went over the total in the win over San Diego State. The Wildcats and Aztecs combined for 58 points, bouncing past the number that was set at 46 points for that contest. Arizona has seen the over go 4-1 in their last 6 games entering this contest. These offenses have shown that they can do incredibly well as Mississippi State scored 49 points while Arizona put up 38 points, so there should be a lot of touchdowns being scored. Both teams have allowed a bunch of rushing yards in the first game of the season for both teams, and both quarterbacks were able to dominate as they combined for 9 passing touchdowns in Week 1. The over has hit in 4 of the last 5 Bulldog games following an against the spread win, while it also is 3-0-1 in the previous 4 Wildcats games. With Leach's air raid offense and the Wildcats improved, at least for 1 week, offensive attack, this game ends up past the total. I expect late-night fireworks as this is the last game to kick off on Saturday night, and it may be well worth staying up for. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.